Once again, a very warm welcome to all the participants for this second session of FDP. Uh, our speaker for today is Dr. Nandhini Dholpete. She is currently associated with Foundation for Revitalization for Local Health Traditions, Bangalore. She pursued her master's in botany from Mysore University and later trained in University of Toronto. Her research work includes genetic studies and phytochemical analysis. She also served as faculty at PS University Biotechnology Department and is now associated with Rewatch, Arunachal Pradesh and JNTU at Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh as a visiting faculty. She received Best Women Scientist Award, Gulbarga University, and Best Young Scientist Award at Karnataka Science Congress, VTU Belagavi. Dr. Nandhini is a trained government official, public NGO on biodiversity and conservation. She has also served as evaluator for rural development and Panchayat Raj for sanitation, rainwater harvest program in Karnataka. She is a consultative group member for geographical indication, examination, Government of India, and helped rural communities file GI applications. She facilitated e-network, updated information under GOI-GEF UNDP, medicinal plant projects to promote communication across stakeholders. Ma'am has also authored books in Kannada and English. She has participated in public talks, radio, TV programs, published scientific and general articles to bring awareness on biodiversity and to create awareness on traditional knowledge and conservation. Ma'am, we are very delighted and we are very pleased to have you as one of our speakers for today. Welcome you, ma'am. And it is over to you to start with the section.
Namaste. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I think this is the second time I'm speaking to the same set of audience in this particular series. I guess if you remember, so with Prabhavati from VTP, that day I had a discussion and we spoke about the GI registration. So recall some of the conversations that we had that day and we continue with today's presentation. Okay. May I try to present now, madam?
Yes, ma'am. You can share your slides now.
Can you see these pictures?
Ma'am, put it on slideshow, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is
it visible? Slide is visible.
Ma'am, it is still in PPT mode only.
Is it? But no, I'm.
Now it is on slideshow, ma'am.
Oh, I closed it now. Too many. Is it still in slideshow mode?
No, it has gone back to the original PPT.
I think there is a little time lapse, so we have to bear with this. Okay, I think it is taking a little more time.
Ma'am, you can. It is okay.
Okay. So let's start the discussion. Today's topic. So my young friends, Vivekananda is very ambitious. He asked me to speak about not slightly different topics, but we can understand life as a whole, and either it can be the art, or it can be agriculture, or it can be something like, healing practice. So that's what I try to bring it in this particular slide. You can see women wearing sari, which is very popular. Okay, it is a craft, it is a weaving craft. Then agricultural practices, yes, it is a traditional knowledge, isn't it? The farmer knows when to sow the seeds, how much water to give to the plants, and at what particular distance he has to, grow the plants, when to harvest. So this is again a traditional knowledge. If you consider any other art form like sculpture, it is a traditional practice, and you all know that, each of these practices are somewhat, orally transmitted from generation to generation. Something like rituals, whatever customs we practice, either it is like a sun salutation or, fire, uh, rituals, related rituals, or we do uh, some kind of offerings to river. We call it as Ganga Puja. So all these are traditional practices, and these practices has immense importance in our socio-cultural life, and it has supported our life from generation to generation. And most of this knowledge has been, orally transmitted from generation to generation, and it is a collective responsibility and our ownership to take it forward. Okay. But what happened to some of this knowledge, if we consider, is like there was a privatization attempt at the Mississippi Medical Center, which happened in 1993. So people who are from Indian origin, that Harihar Kohli and Suman K. Das, they claimed patent over healing practices related to turmeric. Is it okay? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am,
Hello?
you're audible. Yes, ma'am, you're
Yeah.
audible.
So there was another attempt, such attempt which happened in 1995. This is related to basmati rice. You know that this particular basmati rice or biryani rice, pulao rice, which you call today, which is a long aromatic grain. Over that, a patent was claimed by Right Tech company, and the patent was granted in 1997. Okay, so but these aromatic grains, which is very popular, and it is produced in a limited quantity, and it has an immense, market outside the India. So there was a lot of demand for this, and which made it to climb for the patent. Patent is what it is generally considered as monopoly, yes, and so that they will have the ownership rights to market it, promote it, fix the price for this. So this particular company, rice tech company, they try to get patent over that. If you consider any of these cases, for example, turmeric, which is very popular throughout India, we all know that, which is used for generally cold cough in every household, and it has a healing power, isn't it? If there is any kind of wound, so immediately we can, dust the turmeric powder over that, so it will help in healing. So they make certain claims which are, properly written and presented at the US Patent Office, which says that it can be used for open wound or surgical wound or combination of all these, and also something like an ulcer which can help in treating. So these are the claims which were made at US Patent Office. Granted. So any of these cases are later considered as biopiracy because this knowledge was known in this country to every household. So that point of time, what happened? The communication, whatever, the publications or the internet communications, what we have, or even the telephonic communication was not that thing was happening at one, known to the people who are in the other part of the world. So this is where we were lacking at that point of time. That's how people in some part of the world, they climbed over the common knowledge which is very, very prevalent in this particular land. But what was happening at the international scenario? You know that there were GATT agreements General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, and also there was a WTO agreement which is called as the TRIPS agreement, Trade Related Intellectual Property Rights agreements were there between the nations. So both voluntarily and due to interview decisions by the United States Patent and Trademark Office, RISE-TEC lost or withdraw most of the claims because patent is not a single entity. There are several claims, right? So including most importantly, the right to call the rice lines as basmati. So it said that for the rice-tech company, you cannot call it as basmati, whatever the rice grains that you are producing and trying to market. So basmati rice is produced only in a particular region, that is even today's western part of India and some part of Pakistan. So that particular area only can find the basmati rice, not the rice which is produced in some other geographical area. A more limited varietal patent was granted to RISE-TEC in 2001 on claims dealing with 3 strains of the rice developed by the company, but not for the grains, the paddy which was grown in a RISE-TEC company. Okay. The Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Right is an international agreement administered by the World Trade Organization that sets down minimum standards for many forms of intellectual property regulations as applied to nations of other WTO members. So this is effective from 1st January 1996. So there are several such cases, not only this turmeric or basmati, like even Withania somnifera, then the peppers and neems. So like this, there were several such instances which happened. There was another case I wish to bring it to your attention. This is the neem extract. So you know that neem, which is quite very bitter and very popular, as the neem paste is applied for the people who are suffering from chickenpox here in India, and also it is used as an insecticide, pesticide, neem extract, neem spray, which is very popular, right? So this is used by the farmers in India, but a patent was granted at EPO, European Patent Office, in 1995. So again, there was a lot of litigation which happened in 1993. According to the evidence, all features of the present claim were disclosed to the public prior to the patent application, and the patent was not considered to involve any inventive step. So patent was granted in the early 1994, but later on the use of neem neem oil, which is quite popular and it is already in the public domain. So whatever patent which they are claiming through their application at EPO, that cannot be considered anymore. So the patent granted on neem was revoked by the EPO in May 2000. So in March 2006, it rejected all the challenge made in 2001 by the USDA and the chemicals multinational. So who was behind this patent? It was chemicals multinational, which claimed for the patent at EPO, European Patent Office, in 1994. In 2000, it was completely revoked and it is rejected. The patent was not, accepted. But again, by 2006, the case was decided that there is nothing called patentability here with the neem extract. Okay. So meanwhile, there was something else which was happening. Okay, I wish to bring your notice here, attention here. Here, this is the case of a Kani tribe. So these Kani tribe people, they are living in the southern part of Kerala. Can you see the map here? Hello? Are you listening?
Ma'am, we can hear you.
Can you see the map?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So this part of country, Kerala, there is a community called Kani. They are living in a pocket of a forest, Western Ghat. So they were aware of a plant called Trichophus xylanicus, specifically Travancorous. Okay. And they called it as Aragya Pacha, meaning source for evergreen health. So this particular plant fruits, they're very precious for them, and if they eat, very important for those people, they identified that importance of that particular plant fruit, and whenever they ate that particular fruit, they were getting very good energy. So without any fatigue, they were able to move across mountains, valleys, so that it is this particular knowledge was known only to those people. But later, when TBGRI, Tropical Botanical Garden Research Institute scientists visited that place, they understand about this particular plant and the consumption of the fruits of this Trichophus xylanicus by the tribal community, and they try to investigate the properties of that particular plant and the fruit. So the investigations confirmed the presence of certain glycolipids and non-steroidal polysaccharides with immuno-enhancing and anti-phatic properties in that particular plant. Okay, so this gives enormous clue for something which is very important for the people who are involved in tracking, sports activity, who are interested to participate in lot of physical, energy involved activities, isn't it? So later, Regional Research Laboratory Jammu and several other, research institute, they came together and they worked and they tried to produce a product called as Jivani out of this Arogyapacha plant. Because this plant is grown in a very small pocket area, which is called as endemic plant. So the production of this plant was very less. So the scientists, they tried to identify the phytochemical properties, and they were able to identify this property, antiphatic property of the plant in leaves also. So they encouraged the local tribal community people to grow around their home also this particular plant, so that the production can be increased and a commercial product can be brought to the market. So because so earlier there was a direct consumption of the fruits by the tribal community, but when they tried to scale up the production and turn it into a manufactured goods, they were able to come up with a product called Divani, and this product has 5 patents and it was marketed to the rest of the country. But even today you can find something similar product which is by a NutriScience. It is a US based marketing company, but maybe source may not be from this particular place, because this Trichophus xylanicus is available in other parts like Malaysia or Indonesia also. It is possible. There may be a supply of this raw material. Okay, so but this particular region, whatever they have procured, it is Trichophus xylanicus travancoreus. So this is what happened. This is one best example for access and benefit sharing, because the benefit, whatever they have got, the knowledge for that, the benefit also was shared with the tribal community, whatever the money matters and which they were able to get it in terms of royalties, sales. So that particular benefit was shared with the tribal community also. So here again, please notice the time period here. Earlier when I was telling you about the TRIPS agreement, it was 1996. And here there was an International Convention on Biological Diversity at Rio de Janeiro, which happened in 1993. So as per this convention, okay, there were 3 major mandates. One is conservation of biological diversity. Second one, sustainable utilization of biological diversity. Then equitable benefit sharing of income generated through biological resources. So how this is implemented in India, because India is also a signatory for this particular summit. There were 193 countries which were parties for this convention. So as per this, National Biodiversity Authority has been established, and at the regional level, each state has a state biodiversity is boards, and under this there is a provision for preparation of People's Biodiversity Register. So, in the year 2002, Government of India released Biological Diversity Act and rules in 2004. Under this, there are several chapters, and 12th chapter which says the central and state government rights and responsibilities, finance management and dispute settlement. Under Biological Diversity Act 22(6), People's Biodiversity Register has to be prepared. So in this particular register, there is a recording of biological diversity in and related traditional knowledge. Okay, so this is happening throughout India, and this is a sample of the cover page which I am showing you here. It is prepared at Arunachal Pradesh. The village name is Koranu. So this People's Biodiversity Register is prepared with the help of Biodiversity Management Committee people, which is established at the rural level. So what is important I wish to tell you here is, first we need to understand the traditional knowledge, biological diversity and documentation. So why we went to the problem of the biopiracy of neem, turmeric, whatever, because documentation was very poor at this end. So it took a lot of time to revoke the case and to present it, say that it is already there in the public domain, this particular knowledge, and somebody sitting in some other place cannot claim patent over that. When do you say it is patentable? Because there should be an innovation, isn't it? Then only you can say it is patentable. But here the knowledge is already in public domain, which is called as prior art, so it cannot be patented. But if there is an innovation and improvement over the innovation, then there is a patentability, right? So after this, what happened? Government of India has come up with the platform called Traditional Knowledge and Digital Library. So in this particular platform, you can also check from your end, okay, TKDL, which is popularly called as. So the texts of Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, Yoga. So all these texts were translated to mainstream language, that is English, and then it is digitalized. So today, if you want some information related to any of these health practices and the ingredients which are used, so you can just get into this particular web page and you can search for the information. For example, if you want to know about the pepper, use of pepper in cold, cough, whatever, either in any of these traditional systems of medicine, you can just check with this website where all it is mentioned. Okay. So after this, what happened? NBA has been established. They, provided information, created formats for fill up the people biodiversity register. So it formed a basic document to claim for later register for the patent. Then there were other mechanisms called as the ABS, which I told you about Carney tribes. So access and benefit sharing. Who can access? The people who are living in a particular area, who have the knowledge about that particular biodiversity element. Either it can be some variety of fish, or it can be a tree, plant, whatever it is, biodiversity element. They can only access that particular biological diversity, that particular wealth. And if that is transformed into any commercial entity, the benefit should be shared with those community people, with any other manufacturing unit or any other company which is involved in procuring the raw material from that particular place. Okay. So this is called as ABS mechanism, access and benefit sharing mechanism. So here I wish to give an example, which is a success story again. Madhya Pradesh, Kalmegh, which is otherwise also called as Chirata in some parts. So it is in Kannada called as Nela Bevu, which is very, very bitter and small plant. So it is called Nela Bevu. So here the Malij Kand Municipal BMC, Biodiversity Management Committee, which, could able to collect and sell it. And today the record says that 10 tons were sold at the rate of 25 rupees per kg. So the income goes to that particular BMC, Biodiversity Management Committee. That is the Malachkand Municipal Corporation. Okay. There is another example, that is Andhra Pradesh. Neem leaves of Amaranchal and Revali BMC. So they collect and they sell it to Japan. So it is sold at the rate of 100 rupees per kg. Okay. Then export of red sanders. Again, that is another very important intervention by National Biodiversity Authority. So it imposes a benefit sharing of around 250 lakh rupees. The NBA has received the following royalties for the agreements signed with various manufacturing units. So there are different formats. Okay, and it is showing the total revenue of 43 lakhs 39,698. And here, any agreement, it will be like regular your court agreement. So it will be on a stamp paper. Just I am showing an example here on the left side. This is from Uttarakhand Biodiversity Board. This particular example, and there are other things which happen in this particular area. So Pinaka tablet again. This is for a snake bite, which reduces the blood pressure. So it is an Ayurvedic formulation, but the patent is granted. Then herbal treatment for pulmonary disease. Then bioconcrete. This is something different, right? Bio and concrete. A particular bacteria called Salmonella, which is isolated from the hot water springs. So that particular microorganism is mixed with the material which is used for plastering like cement, and bioconcrete is produced, which has become quite popular, and the patent is granted. Then anti-cancer drug. So chlorophytum species for isolation and characterization of biologically active saponins from chlorophytum species to UFR. This is again France-based company. So this particular anti-cancer drug has which is the basic material is chlorophytum. So this drug is also patented. So transfer of rights is also possible, but there is a mechanism to do that. That's what the NBA says, National Biodiversity Authority says. So if somebody is interested to learn about, to understand, or before applying for a patent, if they want to check anything related to medicinal plant relevant to their application, they can check this website. This is again supported by Ministry of Environment and Forests. So this is called ENVI's website. I just try to take the picture of the home page. You can see here data search. Okay, data search you can see. So Indian medicinal plants nomenclature. So 12 languages it is available. If you search name in vernacular name, it will give the botanical name. If it's if you find it's appropriate, then you can further go and check the picture of the plant, where it is available, related links. Then traded medicinal plant images, digital herbarium, digital atlas. So a lot of information is available in this particular website. You can use it if you want to learn more about the raw drug, raw material, and whether you can patent it or not, because prior art, the knowledge which is already present in the public domain, you cannot patent it unless there is an improvement in the innovation. Okay. So there is an international convention for the protection of new varieties of plants, which is called as UPO agreement. So convention was adopted in Paris in 1961 itself, and it was revised several times in 72, 78, 1991, and as several times it was revised. As on 2014, there were 75 countries which are parties for this particular agreement. And what it says is, like, if there is some kind of innovation or improvement in the variety of the plant, because when you say plant kingdom, it may have different types of plants. It can be shrub, herb, tree, grass, flower, fruit yielding, anything, right? So if there is an innovation, improvement in a particular variety, which is very much important for the society, then you can register it for the betterment of your financial progress for the farmer, or it can be for the agricultural university. Generally, they release new varieties, isn't it? Research institute then release the new variety. So this is quite common kind of vegetables that you have. Can you see what is this picture? Can anyone tell me what is this picture?
First one is tomato, second one is brinjal, varieties of capsicum.
Yes, very good. So here you can see the tomatoes, different kinds of tomatoes, right? So each one is a different variety. It is tomato, but there are different varieties of here. Chili, generally it is called as chili or capsicum. The big one generally Kashmiri capsicum, veggie, whatever. And here, which is dried chili, which is quite popular, badly medicine, which is again registered under geographical indications. You can see this picture means that I took this picture when I was in US. So this is generally they go for trademark. Okay. So here you can see the picture sticker attached to that. So the new plant must be novel, which means that it must not have been previously marketed in the country where rights are applied. The new plant must be distinct from other available varieties. Now we have understood what is distinct. It may be color, it may be aroma, taste, size, shape, right? So these are the distinct varieties. And the plant must display homogeneity. So when you sow the seeds or when you cut the stem and plant it again, and so several generations of plant you get, and it should be very, very distinct. The trait or traits, or trait means here characters, should be unique to the new variety, must be stable, so the plant remains true to type after repeated cycles of propagation. So it means from generations after generation, it should remain constant, the characters of that particular variety. So if you have seen that yellow color capsicum, it should remain with the same shape, color, size for generations, several generations, right? So that is called as a variety. So production can be obtained for a new plant variety. However, it has been obtained through conventional breeding. Conventional breedings are like through seeds, cutting, grafting, budding. All these are conventional way of propagation. Then or through genetic engineering. Genetic engineering, generally it is called as biotechnology. Through tissue culture, generally we do it. Then Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers Right Act in 2001 is an act of Parliament of India that was enacted to provide for the establishment of an effective system for protection of plant varieties, the rights of farmers and plant breeders, and to encourage the development and cultivation of new varieties of plants. This act received the assent of President of India on October 30th, 2001. So, irrespective of conditions for the grant are met, defined by the expressions of the characteristics. So a new variety may be produced for a particular disease resistance, rust disease, blast disease, smut disease. So a new variety may be produced which is resistance, so that farmers can start cultivating that particular variety, isn't it? So they will not incur the loss, right? So distinguished from other plant grouping, lowest known rank. So if you have studied about the taxonomy, genus, species, class, order. So the plant grouping, lowest known rank, generally it is species, right? Species, subspecies, then varieties. Then suitability for being propagated unchanged. That's what repeatedly saying. So even after several generations, the characteristics for which the claim is made, it should be consistent. So here you can see some of the producers which are granted this plant variety protection. You can see here I wish to bring it your notice. that date of certificate issue, the last column, and production period, last two columns. Okay. So on the left hand side, you can see serial number, registration number, category of variety, extant variety, new variety. Can you see his? And name of the applicant here, University of Agricultural Sciences, SAU, then Indian Council for Agriculture Research. And if you go through this particular list, there are some private industries also. The grant is given. Okay. Here you can see the last two columns, the date of certificate issue and production period. The last one, 13 September 2019, and period of production is given as 18 September 2028. So here 19 to 28 means production is given for 10 years, right? But it varies based on the produce. It varies. If you see the cells in the upper rows, here it varies. September 19 it shows, than 26 March 2033. Okay, so here it is given for almost 13 years. So it varies based on the particular produce. Either it can be, tree, small plant, a climber. So based on that it varies. So here it is a plant variety journal of India. Protection of plant varieties and Farmers' Right Authority of India has a website, and also they have a journal. You can access through this journal and understand for what all new varieties the grant is given. If you consider the genetic engineering, generally the animal cloning is not that popular except oncomouse, but microorganisms can be cloned and it can be genetically engineered to produce for betterment of human welfare. Either it can be like vaccine or some other product. And tissue culture, this is again very popular in plant kingdom, and lot of plants like banana, chili, all these are produced in large scale. It can be genetically engineered. That is, manipulation of genes can be done through this process. So let us consider the history, what happened with the microorganisms. So Chakrabarti sought to patent a live man-made microorganism. He was working for the Plantif company. A live man-made microorganism is a non-naturally occurring composition and therefore may be patented. That was the claim which was made at the US Patent Office in 1980. It entailed the patentability of genetically modified organism, which is Pseudomonas putida. The bacterium can break down crude oil, which made it suitable for treat future oil spills. That was the claim which he was made. Patent was granted under US Patent Office. So how he produced the bacteria, that was one claim. Inoculum composed of a carrier material and the bacterium. Okay, and the bacterial species itself cannot be patented. So there were several claims under this patent. The first two claims were accepted because the inoculum, how the bacteria can be introduced to the oil spills, that is what is called inoculum. So that is patented, and also the gene manipulation, whatever he has done, that is patented, but the bacteria itself cannot be patented because it's not a man-made bacteria. Bacteria as a whole, which is naturally existing, cannot be patented. So under the grounds that the bacteria are naturally occurring and as a living organism cannot be patented. So let us consider the microorganisms. Here microbials means it can be bacteria, fungus, virus, whatever. Okay. So 1873, the US Patent Office granted patent to Louis Pasteur. It happened first time. Okay. Germans for a yeast which is free of pathogen. So we are all very familiar with Louis Pasteur, pasteurization. Even today we are getting pasteurized milk, right? So that's how we can recall your memory. The Budapest Treaty on the international recognition of the deposit of microorganisms, which happened in Hungary in 1977. The government of India permitted patenting of microorganisms in India under the Patents Bill in 2002, which was passed by the Parliament on 14th May 2002. A native microorganism in their original form cannot be patented. However, microbes like yeast, bacteria, protozoa, unicellular algae, fungi, actinomycetes, and viruses can be patented if they have been genetically modified. The process and the product obtained can also be patented. So it is very clear here. It cannot be patented, but if there is a modification, which can be patented. So there is a World Data Center for Microorganisms. So today India has 30 culture collection centers that store approximately what is this 1,94,174 culture as per WDCM record. While all over world there are 713 culture collection centers in 73 countries. And here a lot of numbers are given. You can read it out. Okay. So there is a culture collection center in India also and other countries also. So whatever they isolate, identify, and they can culture it, that is reproduce it, manipulate it, modify it. So all these has to be deposited in the data center, microbial center. So here this is the one website. Here this is from Australia. So again they call us this center. Okay. Microorganisms. Strain number. Slide you can see strain number. If you know the strain number. Oh. Then sorry. Then can you see?
Yes, ma'am. We can see.
Yeah. Then strain name. Any keyword if you have. So you can search the microorganism which you wish to understand or you want to use it or procure it from them. So they have a service center. Statistics, you can see here how much they have, how many they have. So here you can understand that it is a service center. You can deposit, you can procure for your so this is MTCC India. This is very popular. Microbial type culture collection and gene bank. This is a CSIR institute. If you are interested to work, you can procure the microbe of your interest. They have a catalog. This is in Chandigarh. Get the opportunity to visit, you can try for that. Then this is just a pictorial example, which I'm trying to show here for general understanding. So how human insulin is produced? So human pancreatic cells can be taken and bacterium can be taken. So bacteria, there is a plasmid. Plasmid is generally a circular one, which is a DNA. So the plasmid is taken and it is broken. And here the human pancreas cell, the DNA of your interest, which can convert this sugar into insulin. So that can be taken and which is inserted in the plasmid and reintroduced into the bacteria. So this reintroduced bacteria is multiplied or cultured several times. Then it can be isolated, this particular bacteria, and this gene which is of interest, which can convert glucose into insulin. So this is multiplied several times. So this can be isolated and manufactured in the form of a human insulin, which can be tablet or which can be in the intravenous, liquid. So any other form, whichever is useful for treatment. So that will be marketed. So this is the general understanding. So I wish to share one of my observations. So when I was looking for something relevant to that, I just noticed at my home that this particular drug, you can see here prescription, which I saw in when I was living in USA. So this particular drug, can you see here? glimepiride 4 mg tablet. Okay. So here manufacturer, when I saw over that, it is Dr. Reddy's laboratory, which got my interest. Okay, Dr. Reddy's laboratory. So this Reddy's laboratory is manufacturing insulin. What is this? Glimepiride tablets, and that is sold in USA also. So Suresh Kadam, who is the author of this particular research, I could say that um, I could find out that this particular publication process for preparation of substantially pure glimepiride. So US patent number US 2007 008 2943 issued in April 2007. Okay. So when I was looking for related publications, formulation and evaluation of glimepiride oral capsules. So here I could find something which is very interesting. You can see here the last two lines of this particular abstract. In vitro release kinetics exhibited sustained release up to 6 hours and followed non-flicking diffusion. Results suggest that GMO, genetically modified organism, cubosomes as lipid non-vectors could significantly enhance oral efficacy when compared to glimepiride powder. So here there is an innovation improvement. They said that so compared to the earlier manufacturing units, this particular tablet has a better efficacy. That's what it suggests. Okay, so here GMO result suggests that GMO cubosomes as lipid non-vector. So a vector is required to carry a particular medicine inside the body, right? A vehicle is required. So here they say that this is an innovation improvement and they claim patent for that. So you all know that now why patent is taken, because to enhance the market value of that particular product. It is a business, right? So insulins, so there are several insulins, patents and analog insulins already on the market in the US and in Canada have expired or will soon expire in these countries and elsewhere also. So there are 4 major companies. You can read these names. Patent applications for insulin were found for only 4 other companies. Biocon is one of the leading company from India. Otherwise, Wagdart, then Tonga, Dongbao, Zuhani United Laboratories, that is from China. So intellectual property cannot be seen as a barrier to entry for biosimilar manufacturers, right? So like trademark, there are several companies which are existing for marketing their product. So here also biosimilar manufacturing, so they can apply for a patent if they can say that their product is distinct from other patented products. Okay. Another example I wish to bring it to your notice is, so one of my previous student, when she was working in some company, she told me that she applied wherever whichever part of that particular organization she was working, they applied for a patent, and her name is also there. She is also one of the author for that. That's what she informed me. So when I was looking for this, I found out few interesting things which I wish to bring it to your notice. Here it says that synergistic combination of herbal extracts for personal care compositions. A cosmetic composition comprising aqueous extracts of Tecomella undulata, Tecoma, which is now flowering everywhere, that yellow color flowers on the roadside trees. So that is a common, but this is Tecoma undulata and Cephalandra indica. So these are the 2 plant species. Cosmetically acceptable excipients wherein said extracts are present in the ratio of 1:1. So all these, they are saying that they use these particular plants for the preparation of personal care composition. That's the claim they are making. So this patent is still under examination. It is not yet granted, and the patent office has not granting it because there are objections. So here, please see the paragraph 2 in this particular slide. So they are asking for a requirement. I told you we have National Biodiversity Authority and the Biodiversity Act 2002, which is released. Under that, we are making people's biodiversity registered and documentation of traditional knowledge, all these things, right? So here it says that why this particular application is very interesting for me is you can see here. So the claims 1(4) attracts the provision of section 3 of the act, all such things it says, and the second paragraph says attention of the applicant is invited towards the section 6 of the Biodiversity Act 2002, which mandates that if biological material obtained from India is used in the application for patent, information for making application for patent should be obtained from the National Biodiversity Authority and the details should be furnished in the application form 1 column 9. So all these things it is same, right? So this is how it is interesting to connect why that particular patent is not yet granted, because the application is still under verification. If the applicant can provide sufficient or acceptable answer, then only it can be taken further. Okay, though example of flavor saver tomato, I don't know, many of you must have already studied about this. So this tomato, which has a long shelf life, was genetically modified, which is called as a reverse transcription technology. So this particular tomato, which has a long shelf life, which has been manufactured or made and called as flavor saver tomato, it was temporarily successful for some reasons in Europe and America. But this tomato could not sustain for a long time. There is another event called as Putazzi event. So because of that particular event, there was some kind of whatever misinformation or something which has passed on, telecasted through some news media. This flavor saver tomato was not successful. It was taken back from the shelves in USA. Okay, so but this is a long shelf life tomato which can avoid damages during plucking, during harvesting, during transportation, because tomato is very soft otherwise. Okay, it is because it is fleshy and it has a soft skin, but this tomato has a long shelf life. That's how it has been genetically made, modified and produced, okay, by a company. But it was taken back with some reason. Why I wish to bring your notice here is there is something called as Naga tree tomato in India, which is recently GI registered, geographical indications registered, which has a long shelf, because without even refrigeration, which we can keep it for 2 to 3 months outside, and which is quite popular in the hilly region. So why can't we promote these kind of goods, indigenous goods, which has similar character? So this is my question. And Monsanto case, you all know that they try to bring that brinjal, isn't it? BT brinjal. So here Monsanto says that it has shares of in India as on September 26. It says that India Monsanto, it claims as much as 2,669,000, their highest since September 26. This is 2019 news. I didn't get the 2020 news. So it means that they are doing very well with the cotton, but brinjal was not allowed. BT brinjal was not allowed to release in India because of various reasons. Okay, so this is a big business. Seed industry is a big business. So plant variety production, I told you. So if there is new novel variety, if a farmer can bring it, or research institute can bring it for any reason, particular reason, so if it has a market value, it can be released. So it is a big business. The access to the seed index in 2019 global seed companies is one of the first sustainable company. So you can think about the seed industry. So either it can be a seed industry, it is not just a seed, I'm telling, it can be any other propagule material. So East West seeds, then Syngenta is very popular again. You can see the market value 3.35 billion it is showing, then Bayer's 3.34. So again, it's a business. That's how they're climbing for new varieties registry. And Kinal toys, last time from VTU, Mrs. Prabhavati has told you about Kinal toys. These toys are very popular in that particular region, but however, again, some kind of piracy kind of thing happened. The people from Glasgow, they visited this particular place, they lived, the students from Glasgow University, they lived with these people for more than a month, they learned the art of making toys. But later they have come up with Glasgow Kinal toys. But later on, again, the case was revoked, and today it is registered under geographical indication as Kinal toys. Okay, and it is gaining a very good market, and they are selling it online also. So based on customer requirement, new products has been also developed, new designs has been developed with the same artisans. So this geographical indication, you know, it is reputed for qualities from a particular origin. Then when we say that it is registered, it must show identifying the product as origination, place of origin. So it is a GI sign. Then qualities depend on the geographical place. So if Mysore silk is produced in some other place, it cannot be Mysore silk. It should be from a KSIC factory. So we have several products like this. As I was telling you about a Naga tree tomato, it should be from Nagaland mountains, right? So this is how, you know, geographical indications are very special, and it is a tradition. So it may have 100, 200 years history or 1000-year history. We don't know. For example, the sari that I am wearing today, it is a Balu cherry sari from West Bengal. So here they depict on the saris, they depict the stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, which is it has a particular style design. It is quite popular. So when we consider the registration process, Alfonso mango, it is very popular. Again, it is registered under geographical indications. But at one point of time in 2014, it was rejected because it could not clear the quarantine regulations. The export market was down that particular point of time. Why it happens? Because the place of production is not single. It is not a single factory, isn't it? There are several farmlands in a particular area. All these farmlands were registered in that area for this particular produce. So consumer is always the king, right? The source of raw material and the processing and the transparency in collection, management, supply. So all these should be verified all the time, and it should be, you know, tick mark, right, as this process is already proper. Then only, you know, it can conform with the quality of the final product. So it is applicable to any kind of product or produce. It's same. So if there is any contamination or problem with the quality parameters, so that, you know, people who are working in that particular field, they should know where they have to check, where they have to rectify. So always when you think about the, you know, selling, producing, making of anything, think about the customer, think about the market value. So the whole process should be a proper as a group or as a society. So most of the people whom we are working, they are from the rural area. They are educated fine in that particular area of their craft, art, or you know, agriculture. But most of them are not literate, and they have various other you know, languages, because our country is a wide country and culturally we are so different. And we have so many different languages. So we need to create the awareness about registration. Either it can be GI registration, patent, or plant variety registration, whatever it is. So we need to interact with them, make them understand, conduct group meetings, create awareness in the way they understand. Okay, our understanding should reach to their understanding, right? So we may have to, you know, make them understand in the form of a story, street plays, how they will get benefited if they secure their language, how they can bring it to the mainstream market. So it helps in regional development. Very recently, we have all seen how the laborers they suffered during the lockdown. Why? Most of the people who are living in the rural area, they cannot find the financial benefit. So with some kind of reason, they will come to the urban area. They will involve in so many odd jobs. If the people living in a rural area, they can understand the worth of their knowledge and practice their knowledge and bring the product to the mainstream market, they can happily lead their life. It will help, and it will help us, right? So this is the strength of this country. So we need to protect the strength of this country, right? So this is the responsibility of each and every individual. So if we can understand what are the good products, what are the valuable things in this region where we are living, we can try to promote it. Here is an example. This is Hadagali Mallige Huvina Protsahadana. So this is Huvina Hadagali. It is a place near Ballari where they produce aromatic jasmine, Mallige. So which has a very good market, very good demand. So the farmers they are provided with the supporting price and also some kind of financial benefit. So they will take interest in farming. They're using the farmland to produce this particular jasmine. So there are 3 different jasmines in Karnataka, which is GI registered. Mysore Mallige, Huvina Hadagali Mallige, and Udupi Mallige. Okay, which is Udupi Mallige is a long jasmine which is aromatic. So there are agriculture processing and fruit produce export authorities. They have a website. You can check individual country wise. If you go to this website, UAE, European Union regulations, you can see Saudi Arabia regulations. So what they want to procure in terms of these agriculture, horticulture items, and what is their conditions. If we can meet their conditions, if we can supply them regularly, we can go and register there and check what is there. So why I am bringing it to your notice is maybe there are many people who are listening here, who are attending this program. They are from agriculture background. So I want to draw your attention here. So again, National Seed Association of India. Again, there are a lot of projects under these training programs, events, and there is a resource center you can see here. So you can keep checking these websites and you can match your interest. Trade portal, which is very important here. So here you can check country wise. You can see here in this particular site, Bangladesh, Belgium, Brazil. So they are posting their requirement, and if you think you can satisfy their requirement, you have a particular produce or goods which you can market it there, also export it. You can log on to this and make sufficient understanding and arrangement for that. Then National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, they have several projects. It is popularly called NABARD. So they are also conducting a lot of training programs, awareness programs, and they are giving incentives also for agriculture related, horticulture, and also animal husbandry related. And already this India Mart, you can see this is a web portal. So rose flower in Hosur, which is just 2 years back, which got registered, GA registered, they are already into the market. If you go towards that Hosur side, you can see a lot of nurseries, rose nurseries. So it means that there is a lot of demand for this particular rose. Rose is very popular. Recently, you had that, what is that? February 14th, Valentine's Day. So in the European and American countries, it is very cold during that period. Snowfall is there. So they cannot grow, right? So it is an export. So a lot of rose is, exported for those regions. So there is a big market, and you should understand how best you can enter the market. And today, because it's all everything is on platform, you can find a lot of information related to this India. So CDSCO, NBA, so all these different portals are there. And if you are interested to do research, you can apply for even MSME, DBT, BIRAC, see, you are already familiar with this Central Drugs Standard Control Organization. You can check this and Make in India. So there are several portals which are helping people who want to do research, who want to, do any kind of innovation which is socially relevant, and how you can bring it to the mainstream markets. So you can check this website and you can find sufficient information. And recently in Karnataka, our chief minister, he said that Copper will have country's first toy manufacturing cluster. So that particular region is very popular for toy making. So already I told you about Kinhal toys. So that particular region. So this, especially this wooden craft, which is quite popular. So to promote such things, they are bringing up these parks, so that special facilities will be provided for the artisans, and also to land for textile park in Karnataka, which is uh, in near southern part of India. Here, this is Udupi saris, which is GI registered. So you can see here, ladies who are into this handicraft, weaving, they are, promoted, help to get into this particular handicraft again, participate, so that they will get better life. They can earn more, and they can may sustain with the knowledge whatever they possess. Okay, so this is how government is promoting it, it is helping our artisans to bring up their art or craft form into the mainstream population. So here I have given you the information about several websites which may be interesting for you. You can just log in, check in these websites, and you can find more information. I think I have completed most of the information I wish to present in front of you. If there is any question, I will try to answer.
Participants, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or put it on chat box.
Okay, there is a question here. How is traditional knowledge different from indigenous?
Ma'am, there is a question.
Yes, sir. Reading.
Read out that.
These are different terminologies which are used. Traditional knowledge, indigenous knowledge. These are different terminologies. There is no major difference. People who are living in a particular area for a long time, who possess a knowledge which is called generally in special reference to India, indigenous knowledge. That's how the terminology is used.
Any other queries from the participants' end? So that's the only question that we got. So I think we will conclude the session. So on behalf of the staff, students, management of Department of Biotechnology and the Oxford College of Engineering, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Nandhini for being the guest speaker for today and enriching us with the knowledge of geographical indicators. And I hope the participants have made better use of this knowledge, and in future also they will utilize it for the betterment. Ma'am, thank you so much for being on our FDP program, and it's very privileged to have you with us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.